あ、あ、あれ、これ聞こえてない。
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, okay. Start?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hello, ETLTC 2021 International Conference. We are Team A of Design of Movies for Professional Communication. Now, let's start. Benefits of smart and economical toilet, a professional design perspective. What are smart toilets? Smart toilets are toilets having convenient functions with electronic communicational features involved. Some examples of useful functions are warm sheets, washlet, self-cleaning, and so on. Our main purpose is to design a promotional video introducing the concepts of smart toilets in a smart society. In Japan, the ownership of smart toilets is over 80%. However, traditional toilets still exist. But in other countries, the spread of smart toilets is not so extensive and wide lagging. Then we will introduce.
And at our script divided into 3 parts. Beginning of the movie, middle, end part. Beginning of the movie is explain percentage of toilet owned and differences in toilets between countries and the reasons for them. And finally, middle part is a function of total smart toilets. あれあれすみません、僕の声って聞こえてますか？
We can hear you.
Looks like there is a coordination problem. So just a second, I need to check.
Sorry, we continued our presentation. Okay. Here's our script. At first, we thought about the general content of the movie and divided it into 3 parts. Beginning, we'll talk about the share rate of toilet and the benefit of smart toilet. In the middle, the function of total smart toilet and the technologies. Technologies used are explained in detail and with humor. using narration with image and videos and of the function and technologies in the background. It also explains how this function can benefit us. For the end, returning to the global scene, voiceover explains the water saving and health benefit of a smart toilet. The video shows people using smart toilets and looking happy. And next slide, screenplay design. Screenplay express movies movement, movies theme, feature of characters, and so on. Screenplay design worksheet is written in a detailed format to make each section distinction and importance for movie clear. Here's a this is screenplay design worksheet. Uh, Story profile is here's a what we were referring to. Story statement. Uh, here's a what I referring to. Main character, external motivation, internal motivation, and so on. Premise statement and themes and key story elements. This is a screenplay design worksheet.
Main character. The main character is listed here. What does the MC want? What does the MC need? What is the MC afraid of? What is at risk for the MC? Next, key character breakdown. Here you will find the roles of the characters and other information. Next, character profile. You can read the character profile. Next slide. This slide is continuation of the previous slide. This slide also describes the character. Next, print poster. In this course, we use Canva. Canva has many templates for various genres.
And now I'm going to introduce what we have, the posters we have made. The left one is aim to create this poster to make simple and attractive. And this yellow one, poster 2, is aimed to create this powerful poster that looks like movie. The right one is aimed to create to look stylish and easy to understand. And we have also made movie poster too. In this course, we have used Adobe Spark, but it was so difficult because we have made this movie for the first time. And here's YouTube link. It is too short, but if you want to if you want to watch the movie, please link here. And sketchboarding. Layout elements necessary for movie production is connect with the lines. It becomes clear what is needed for each element and where it is used. And I'll switch to next person who going to introduce. Thank you.
For example, the element toilets has some leaves and they uh, they are used by leaves of the element. Users also we can understand where this part will be used in the movie by looking at how those elements are connected. それで次。ました。あれあ mind mapping. We used MindMeister mind mapping software in this course. Mind mapping is a simple way to make the flow of a story explicit. Anyone can check the storyline later on. For example, at the beginning, we can see that we are going to explain the share percentage of toilets and use a graphical image. Next person.
Next, storyboarding design. We've divided entire movie into smaller parts to describe what is needed for them. We have also drawn simple picture and used self fonts to describe each scene. It is useful to look at each scene in detail. Narration. Have you heard about smart toilets? How is it different from this traditional toilets? Next person.
Hello. One of the well-known function. We interesting the smart toilet function. One of well-known function is washlet. The scenes change the drama part. The two people watching about the financial advantage of use washlet. Two people is the two people is watching the about the interaction of smart toilet function washlet. And
Go to the next, please. Go to the next.
okay.
I'm going to introduce you to the Toto toilet, the most crazy smart toilet in the world. Tanaka and Sato says Toto. Toto's smart toilet have three functions. The first one is Chiffon text. A special coating is applied to the surface of the toilet to make it easier to remove dirt. The second is tornado flush. This improves the flow of water and makes it easier to clean the normal toilet. Third is rimless. There is no rim, so that does not accumulate. Tanaka and Sato says this could improve the toilet situation in the world. Our battle is just beginning. As we have mentioned, smart toilets has many advantages. They use water efficiently, so you can save water. Furthermore, it has the advantage of reducing the burden on our bodies. It says smart toilets are necessary of life. B says, I really think so. I hope to see more and more smart toilets in the future. It says, smart toilets will enrich our lives. Next, it says, please let everyone use the smart toilets. I can't get enough of regular toilets. Once you use the smart toilet, you will understand how good it is. Studio Border. Studio Border is a film production management software and provides a good data management and tracking service before, during, and after film production. This software allows us to perform a variety of tasks in a single platform. We will organize our works and scheduling shot of movie using this service. Goal of this movie. Our movie will likely be able to explain the benefits of general smart toilets and Toto's advanced toilet technology. Our movie may be able to improve the situation related to the use of smart toilets around the world. Our movie is also designed to create consumer awareness. Company can use this movie to encourage people to buy smart toilets. Sorry for so many troubles, and thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, can you stop sharing the screen? Yeah, thank you. Group B. We can take questions after Group B is finished. Make it full screen, please.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay.
これプレゼンテーションを開始して右上の
Okay. Starting okay.
Yeah.
Roy. Okay. Let's start our presentation. This is presentation of professional communication and information design for intelligent toilets at ETLTC 2021 International Conference 20th January 2021 University Eyes. Members are Sanshiro Hirahara, Kandai Kangwari, Yuki Minakawa, Ryosuke Yamamoto, Ryuya Asada, Atsushi Ikeda, Akira Shioda, Hirotaka Gosai. Okay.
The concept of smart toilets. Intelligent toilets is a bathroom plumbing fixture or type of electronic bidet. Toilet which incorporates traditional bidet cleansing combined with enhanced modern smart home technology by Wikipedia. The smart toilet could have the following inbuilt technology: Internet of Things, smart home technology, voice command and mobile app, AI and automation, robotics, health-focused technology. The smart toilet helps using the following technology. This is achieved by interactive communication between mobile phone, IoT device, and some existing service. Toilets and the user. Our smart toilets check for users' health, and it has mechanics to inform the user about health issues. In addition, our toilets tell the user about the weather along with related information. Toilets and mobile apps. The intelligent toilets keeps track of the amount of toilet paper on stock and available for use, and informs the user when and if replacement are necessary. Toilets and IoT devices. Smart toilets can turn on the bathroom light automatically because of the interaction with IoT device. The purpose of the promotional video. As part of this project, we will design a promotional video on the features and benefit of smart toilet in the society. Promote our smart toilets benefit. We will demonstrate the smart toilets benefit by letting the viewers know about. First, we will introduce the concept of smart toilets, its future and benefit. Second, how smart toilets make our daily life comfortable. Third, finally, we will explain the traditional use of toilets in the world and how the situation the world over could potentially change from introducing intelligent toilets in different communities.
I'm going to be explaining our pre-production movie script. So our movie script, starting with the overview, it has a storyline that shows the audience the contrasts between the life of a conventional toilet user and that of smart toilet users. The storyline, however, is more inclined towards persuading the audience to adopt smart intelligent toilets to improve convenience, comfortability, and hygiene in their lifestyles. So our movie structure design, it's structured as the first section, which explains the story of the movie, how it is going to be played in detail, using a story based on a daily lifestyle of a normal human being. This section explains what is going to happen in the movie. Then the second section contains the screenplay details. This focuses on what the audience are going to see in the movie. It explains the scenes or the acts in the movie, the time of the day the scenes were shot, the tone, the mood of the scenes, the environment, that is the people, the objects, whether the scene was shot indoors or outdoors, and a lot of other information. Additionally, this section explains the style of the documentary that we are producing. We decided to include some sense of humor to it so that the audience can enjoy while they watch. Summary details for section 1. This section introduces two characters, Yuko, who is the conventional toilet user, and John, who is the smart toilet user. The two toilet users are in the same age group and have similar lifestyles. John is expressed as experiencing a more convenient, healthy, and comfortable lifestyle due to his adoption of the smart intelligent toilet, while Yuko still undergoes the traditional hassles, the normal hassles that conventional toilet users encounter. This is explained and this is demonstrated in scenarios. For example, when both characters run out of toilet paper in their toilets, only John is able to receive a notification on his mobile app reminding him to buy the toilet paper, whilst Yuko forgets to buy the toilet paper because she didn't take note of it. Also, John is able to get health check notifications from his mobile device because his toilet does health check each time he goes to excrete waste. So he can visit the doctor to get checked up if any illness starts emerging. Whilst Yuko progressively gets worse and worse because she does not receive any alert signs or notifications that she's getting sick. And the other scenario where the convenience is shown is where John receives updates on weather and traffic conditions, whilst Yuko has to rely on updates from maybe mobile device or checking the news on the TV each morning. Section 2 detail summary, it explains the reactions, like when the characters are panicking, where they feel relaxed, where they are worrying. It also explains the environment, the tone and the mood, as we explained before, as well as the emotions that the characters experience.
This is screen plane design worksheet. By creating this, we can make a perspective for making a video. Story profile and story statement and premise statement and themes written here. And here, key story elements, main character are written here. This story have 3 parts and 2 main characters. And key character breakdown is written here. And last character profile is written here. The details of the 2 characters, John and Yoko, are written.
The poster should be easy to understand and interesting to the viewer. The poster on the left emphasizes the latest toilet rather than the old ones and gives visual information that the new toilet are cleaner. The poster on the right conveys this the toilet on this movie very consciously as to that sorry, to give information that the, simply gives the impression of movie.
This movie poster is to use Adobe Spark. This movie poster is divided to scene. Scene 1 explain world toilet situation. For example, USA, India, Japan, Italy, and Thailand. Scene 2 compare smart toilet user John and normal toilet user Yuko. Play this video.
These are toilets around the world. Depending on the country, the situation of toilets varies from clean toilets to dirty toilets to toilets that don't even have doors. Based on these current conditions, we propose a smart toilet compared to normal toilets.
Our smart toilet has many features. The lid of the toilet opens automatically. We can talk to the smart toilet to check the day's news and weather forecast. After we finish it, the toilet recognizes it and automatically flushes the water. When we leave, the lid closes automatically.
In normal toilet, we have to open the lid ourselves and check our schedule for the day on our smartphone. Oh, she dropped her phone. She finishes the toilet in bad mood. He gets notification from his mobile app that lack of toilet paper, so he goes to buy some.
He avoids the worst case scenario of running of paper. On the other hand, in a normal toilet, she doesn't notice that lack of toilet paper. She's having the worst case scenario of that she cannot use toilet paper. Smart toilet have a health management function. He can go to the doctor's office and quickly discover what is wrong with his body. On the other hand, in a normal toilet, we are lying on her stomach.
I use sketchboarding software to make the relationship easier to understand visually. John and Yuko have different toilet, and each toilet is used to show who they are affected repeated on a daily basis. This gives John, who has a smart toilet, a visual condition. John is living a better life. If you have a smart toilet, you receive benefit and can live better life than someone who doesn't have it.
This is our final version storyline represented by mind map. Our story have 3 parts. First, we describe world storage problem with some data. After that, we introduce some function of our smart toilet. Finally, we conclude them.
This slide is film production management with Studio Binder. It is too difficult to produce a film without a management tool because all of the members have each personal plan or task. Studio Binder is one of the famous management tools. Studio Binder makes us easy to match our schedule to shoot and edit a film.
This is the major scene of our promotional videos sketched by storyboarding design. This is picture shows movie scenes, and this part is dialogue. And under dialogue, this explains actors' action. For example, John said, "Good morning. Tell me about today's weather." And smart toilets and John is active. Smart toilets. "Good morning, John. Cloudy in the morning with a possibility of rain in the evening. So you should take an umbrella with you if you go out." John, thank you. This is dialogue. And when John opened the door, the toilet lid automatically opened and plays comfortable music. When John finishes using toilets and stands up, the water automatically flows and toilet lid closes. This explains actor what it's doing. Actor, okay. And next is same. This part is dialogue. Yuko, how's the weather today? Oh, today is sunny, good. Oh my god, my phone. Because she doesn't have smart toilet, she dropped her phone. And next slide. It's the same. Picture explains what we are show in promotional videos. And this part is dialogue. Yuko, today was very tired. Oh my god, no toilet paper. Narration is active. She doesn't have smart toilet. She faced worst case. So she looks sad and sad and trouble. And under this part is Yuko uses toilet. She realizes in the middle of number 3 that there is no toilet paper. She panics and realizes she has to improvise. Yuko looks at her hands with a sad, regretful expression. This is explanation of action. The goal of our 30 minutes promotional video is to leave a positive impression on the use of intelligent toilet. We are in a way so the promotional customer can be convinced of the health and other benefit of using such gadgets in smart society. Our goal is also to make the people aware that such products are part of an evolving and advanced society. Okay, our presentation is finished. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, team A and B. Now we can take some questions. So please be there for question, team A and B. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I think this is really very good work. I think that I agree with the presenters that everything they are doing with smart toilets is very important. Actually, it's a major problem all over the world that the technology is not at a good level yet for a very important human function. So I think this is really quite good work and very insightful. And I think both groups are well organized, very well organized. So yeah, I don't really have a question. Maybe, do you plan to continue with this idea later in your future?
Anyone can answer that? Kundai, are you there?
Are they gone?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, so like answer that?
Yeah. Yes, as computer science students, I think it's good for us to keep moving the idea forward, since this is technology that's clearly useful for the whole world.
Yeah.
We just pray the standards get up to accommodate such technology.
Okay. Posai-san, do you have any view on that? Oh.
So Debo, I would have one question to the group. So my question would be, what kind of documents did you use to work into the technology of smart toilets? So how did you inform yourself and how did you learn about the technology just behind this, well, nice devices?
Well, I think the way we approached it for the course, just for the course, because this was for project-based language learning, this was just a case study. We could have done it with many other cases. As you know, that right now what we are doing, every year we are selecting one topic on smart technology. It could be smart homes, it could be smart parking, it could be smart hospitals, it could be anything smart. So we are picking on that because we are a computer science university mostly. So having said that, on this particular case, what we did, we started by checking out the penetration of smart toilets the world over. That was one issue that we started with. Then we wanted to look at the kind of technologies that are used by Toto versus Kohler in the United States. Kohler is mostly focused on Internet of Things, voice commands and all these sorts of things for smart toilets. But Toto is not really focusing as much on Internet of Things. So we wanted to see that they have washlets. Of course, they have electronic bidets and washlets, but these are all standalone. So you cannot really, there are no smart toilets out there in the market, which really takes into consideration Internet of Things, and you can operate with an app and things like that. So that was very interesting to me because the demand for Toto washlets the world over is extensive in throughout America, Europe, but if you look at the Kohler products, that's another very interesting. I mean, it's like it's 20 years ahead. So I wanted to see what kind of technologies there. So based on that, we approached the production script. We wanted students to focus on these technologies which are being used for Kohler products. So Internet of Things, using music in the toilets, sensors, motion sensors, then using the phone apps, remote controls. So all these kinds of things, how are they used for smart toilets? So we wanted to focus on that. And then we wanted them to look at what Toto is doing. So that was basically the approach that we took. And in that process, we used several software for just for filmmaking purposes and planning purposes. Not the production side, but the pre-production. This course stopped at the completion of the pre-production stage. We did not really go into the production except for the video posters that the students worked on. Yeah, that's it.
You know, it would be interesting to consider another part of the market, which is a toilet that is not so high-end and expensive, but something that would be available to far more users in many more countries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's hardly anything on that literature really. I mean, there's not much that's around, because I was reading an article that in some South Asian countries or African countries, using electricity for toilets, not the lighting, I mean, just for using it for a washlet, it's unimaginable. They can't really understand why would it matter whether you have electricity in the cup itself, you know.
Yeah.
System and things like that. So
well, yeah, you solve one problem and you create another by having it dependent on an electrical system.
Exactly, and there's not much support about it because electricity is such a basic needs, and you don't even get electricity for 24 hours a day in these countries. So how can you even think of a use which is purely? They think it's purely optional. I mean, there's no, the literature was saying there's no real way of understanding why would I need a cistern to tell me what the health benefits are, or how is it beneficial health-wise to me? It's a cultural thing also.
Yeah, and as soon as you consider the limited infrastructure of many places in the world, then the solution to the problem ceases to involve computation, really.
Yeah, exactly. Where would you invest the whatever sources you have?
Yeah,
that's true. All right. I don't see any other question. I think our next presentation is not until 25. So I think Bandri is here, so we can get started since there are no questions and everyone is here anyway. So we probably don't need the break. Bandri, would you like to go ahead with your presentation?
Okay, yes, fine.
So I will just introduce you. He is in my SCCP course, and he is working on the topic of importance of technical and professional writing certificate in a Japanese computer science context. So it's over to you, Bandri. You can share the screen.
Okay, thank you for introducing me. Can you see the presentation screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, I'm Van Yasid. This project is supervised by Professor Devapriya Roy. The title is Importance of Technical and Professional Writing Certificate in a Japanese Computer Science Context. And the conference is ETLTC 2021 International Conference. What is technical writing? Technical writing is writing or drafting technical communication used in technical and occupational fields. Technical writing encompasses the largest subfield in technical communication. Why are technical writers important? Technical writers can communicate a complex set of information in easy to understand language and make it easily accessible as and when required. Industries need to convey technical information to specific specialists, and technical writers act as the bridge to communicate such information. Most computer scientists don't know how to write instruction manual, so we need technical writer. Technical writer needs to be detail oriented and diligent. And also they need to have excellent writing skills, communication skills, teamwork and intercommunication, language skills, knowledge of technical terminology. Need for TC certificate in Japanese universities technical programs. Unlike in the West, the Japanese education sector still do not see the value of technical writing program value for technical writing for computer science and engineering students. So Japanese higher education education institutes still do not offer technical writing as a specialist subject in a specialist department. The connection between Japanese universities and Japanese industries still do not extend to the field of technical writing. Expected qualities in technical writers. Technical writer must have English skills, technical writing skills, design skill, information and project management skills, and computer science skill. And technical writer is needed in a bunch of industries. For example, aerospace, healthcare, manufacturing, services, design, and so on. This is the brochure that are designed in this course. The brochure in the left is career promotional guide. The concept is written in the middle of it, and employer expectation is in the left. Important skill set and contact is written in the right side. This brochure is considered to be attractive and easier to read. Most software industry require bachelor's degree or relevant experience, the ability to read and write basic example code, and experience writing for developer and technical audiences. Expected technical writer qualifications in the aviation industry. And another example, technical writer in aviation industry must have ability to communicate with professionals to write suitable manual for each job and ability to manage varied information. So there are many types of user manual in the aviation industry, such as aerial firefighting, agriculture aviation, and business and personnel travel, and so on. And also, ability to write documents in compliance with laws and regulations. Have many knowledges, a way to deliver contents. And finally, ability to write clear text structure. Then why software developers should know technical writing? Because when the company need to write document of the product for investors or user, and writer come up with minor question, how do they solve it? Maybe they were asked to professionals, but they don't know which professional can solve this problem because they didn't join a development team. At this time, this company wastes much time. The importance of data visualization in technical documents. Technical writers should be able to quickly create data that is easier for customers to see. For our project, we explore the tablet, visualize software, and the major functions such as colored map and scallop plot. When processing a large amount of data, it is necessary to visualize the data and analyze the data. The JTCA UOA Technical Writing Certificate Program. One major purpose of the certificate program is to allow GS students to learn how to produce and communicate technical information using traditional and digital technologies. More importantly, the idea of the certificate is to introduce both Japanese and English technical writing skills for the industry as required by software engineers. Benefits of the TC certificate program in the job market and for job interviews. A professional technical writing certificate shows us commitment and level of excellence that impresses employers. Students become more aware of the industry needs and trends of the market. The major advantage of this TC certificate program is for students to develop their writing ability, have specialized training, and synthesize technical information. Some of the good TC Worldwide Certificate Program. In Simon Fraser University, teach all of the core technical communication competencies that the Society for Technical Communication has identified. And also, students in University of Wisconsin can choose online courses from basic, intermediate, or advanced non-credit training in technical writing and communication, or courses in specialty areas. Conclusion. Currently, Japanese companies are failing to understand how technical writing certificate programs are important to their company. They don't quite see the value of yet. Technical writers provide much added efficiency to the company. For example, with document management, information design, writing, and usability skills. This is my end of the presentation. Thank you.
All right.
So Roy.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. Are there any questions? This was a special course, a one credit course where we talked about very introductory concepts on technical writing. And this was Yasui's first course for about technical writing, knowing about technical writing. So this was a very introductory thing. So if you would like to ask him questions about what he sees to be the value of such programs and things like that, so feel free to, please. Anyone?
I would just like to say that, oh, sorry. Oh, no, I'm unmuted. I thought that the presentation was very well said, and I think that it was quite listenable. And you're saying that this is just the first course that Mr. Bonry had taken in this area. Well, I thought it was quite well done, actually, and very listenable. So I think that he has some future in this area if he can express his ideas so clearly. I don't really have any questions, but I just wanted to make that comment because I think it's true, and I just want him to pursue and study as hard as possible, because I think he has a good option for future development and learning.
Thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
Any other question? All right. Okay. So if we do not have any other question, I think we are 20 minutes away from our next, the final presentation for this session. But I guess since we are all here, mostly it feels like, so we can probably go ahead and start with Duke. Are you here?
Yes, we are here.
So would you be okay to start now, or would you like to wait until your time?
Just we can start now, but maybe can you give us a couple of minutes to set everything up?
Absolutely.
Maybe 3 minutes.
Sure, sure.
Thank you. Okay, thank everyone for attending our session. Can anyone hear me? Oh, I'm unmuted. Oh, okay. So thank everyone for attending our session. I'm Duke, and I'm here with Professor John Black, and here we're gonna present about our system for automatic question generation and its application in language learning. So, thank you. Yes, I'm sorry. So maybe there's some problem with their audios. Now, can you give me a couple of minutes to figure it out? Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, take your time, please. Yeah.
Thank you for choosing our presentation. We're going to talk about the design and development of a question generator for learners of English. I'm John, and I'm giving this presentation with Duck. This presentation is divided into 7 parts, which seems long, but some of them are quite short, so don't worry. I'll begin with the introduction, where I'm going to show you the importance of questions themselves, and then address the research gap that this project aims to solve. I'll move on to the background and talk about the problem itself of question generation, explain about the complexity of questions, and then present an overall idea of our solution. I'll then hand over to Duck, who will describe the related works and the design process itself. He'll go into detail about pre-processing and question construction, and then talk about the development of the online tool. We'll close by describing the lessons that we've learned, and there are 5 of them, and then I'll try to bring everything together in the conclusion. Questions are an integral part of education. Even back in ancient Greece, in the Socratic method, questions were used to promote thinking. At that time, they didn't want to provide the answers, they wanted to get people to think of the answers themselves. And this is still very common in many education systems. There are various functions of questions in a classroom. They can be used to elicit ideas and knowledge from students, to check the knowledge that the students have or should have just learned, to evoke responses, to promote some sort of integration and active response into the classroom. Questions themselves actually make up quite a lot of our dialogues. Depending on the type of genre, questions can form between 10 and 20% of all the dialogue. That means we really need to be able to make questions to participate actively and effectively in dialogues. When we search online, there is no easy tool that can give us questions. We can find some grammatical explanations of questions. We can even find maybe an error checker that could possibly find the mistakes in the syntax of a question. But there was actually no resource at all to create questions from the input of a sentence. And that's what this is aiming to solve. So why do we need to focus on questions? Well, it comes from the problem itself. The 4 questions on the slideshow are what students provided in class. They were asked to ask me a simple question, and we got, why did you came to Japan? Why you come to Japan? Why are you come to Japan? Why do come to Japan? All of which are syntactically wrong. It shows that even after many years of education, questions are still problematic. And let's think why. Well, they're complex. There are at least 3 problems that are pervasive in questions. The multiple types, we have what, where, when, why, open questions, or do you, can you, are you, closed questions. We have questions that ask about the subjects and some that ask about the objects. We can think of another key problem, and that's be, have, and do. These 3 verbs can function as main verbs, but they also function as auxiliary verbs, which is very confusing. Questions themselves also incorporate many other complex features. Tense, of which there are many, voice, passive voice, active voice, modality, may, can, could, all the different modal verbs that can affect things, and the valence, which is how many things will go after the verb itself. Does it take 1 object, 2 objects, no object? So what's the solution? Well, we propose a question generator, something that creates questions automatically based on the input of the user themselves. The idea being to provide tailored, controlled practice to content decided by the person who inputs the sentence. And probably most of the time that will be the learner inputting a sentence for themselves.
Besides the problem we present in the former section, researchers also see question generation as a solution to the need of material for standardized tests, online courses, as well as e-learning systems. Different purposes require different forms of question and methods. Here, we classify traditional question generation system in categories: semantic-based, template-based, and syntax-based. For the purpose of our tool, syntax-based question generation with free-form answer is the most suitable choice, as this kind of system allows educators to clearly illustrate the patterns of the sentence components movement in question formation, and the logic behind the selection of interrogative pronouns. Some of the notable works in this area are listed as follows: Ellie 2010, Kennedy 2010, Hellman 2011, and Daniel 2017. We organize the tasks involved into 2 stages of pre-processing and question construction. In the pre-processing stage, we analyze sentence syntactic structure using constituency parsers, such as Stanford parser, or in our case, Berkeley neural parsers. We then map all the real-world objects in the sentence using their correct text with named entity recognizers. The entity text is one of the factors that will allow the system to understand the sentence at a semantic level. And often, syntactic information alone is not enough for question construction. We aim to generate 3 types of questions as presented in the construction stage. Detail about the algorithm for each type of question will be shown in the next section. It's also worth mentioning other possible techniques that can be applied to the system. Paraphrasing and simplification are 2 popular adopted pre-processing methods in existing literature, as it allows the system to generate questions of a wider variety. Question ranking can also be applied as a post-processing stage to filter out low-quality questions. However, as we aim to preserve the structure of the original sentence, we choose to include these methods. The outputs of the pre-processing stage can be visualized as follows. The parser outputs a syntax tree for the sentence that can be analyzed by the programs in a top-down manner. The notation for the labels follow Bentrip and corpus, with conventional part-of-speech tags and label for phrases. On the other hand, the entity recognizer assigns a tag for each real-world object in the sentence. The tag describes separate types of entities. For example, in this case, OIG stands for organization, DP stands for geopolitical entity, and money stands for monetary values. The following section presents algorithm for the construction of each type of question in the form of flowcharts. In general, we use the syntactic information from the parse tree to perform syntax operations like rearrange sentence, extract the subject from the sentence, decompose the main verbs, and extract the auxiliary verb. For tasks that require the understanding of the lexical semantics, such as finding the correct pronoun for the sentence subject in type question construction, or finding the correct interrogative pronoun for the answer phrases in open question construction, we use the NER tag from the pre-processing stage in combination with group vector embedding and self-trained support vector machine classifiers. Compared to the system in the recent literature that employed end-to-end neural network for question construction, rule-based algorithms allow us to build a more robust system with more control over the forms and quality of generated questions, which is a desirable trait for pedagogic systems. We implement the system described in earlier section using the following technology stack. We developed a Flask Apache web application using Angular for the dynamic manipulation of front-end components. Python libraries such as Spacy and NLTK are also employed for low-level language tasks, for example, parser speech tagging, as well as sentence and word tokenization. A prototype version of our application is deployed to Amazon Elastic Cloud Computing Service and is open access using the link given in our paper.
Let me describe 5 lessons that we've learned. When I say we, especially me. The first one was the expectation versus reality. I thought that it would be quite simple to create an automatic question generator. However, I was very wrong. The problems that we came across were completely unexpected. I just didn't realize how difficult a task it was to choose the question word itself. As a teacher, we can easily say, if you ask about a place, use where, and then we just match location and where. But to get the system to automatically recognize that something describes the location and then automatically generate the question word where was far more complex than that. 2, the law of diminishing returns. Each time we create a new function, we increase the power of the tool. So the first function gets it working quite well. The second one gets it working a little bit better. But it comes to a stage where the amount of increase is just not worth doing it. So we have to decide where to stop. To make a tool that's 100% accurate would take forever. So probably we should be cut off at 90%, 95%. I'm not sure, but it's a real difficult choice. Some of the other problems were the shortcomings of existing tools. Our tool relies on grammatical parsing. We need accurate part-of-speech tagging, so that when the tagger that we use doesn't accurately tag parts of speech, then that causes a problem. So now we have a problem of what is our research field? How narrow is it? Next one, the necessity to define target users. Well, all learners of English would benefit from having the ability to use this tool. But that would then mean that I will have to think about all users of English. For example, for a system to recognize names, it needs to know which names are male, which names are female, to be able to accurately generate he and she. And of course, we have names that were neither male nor female, and those are problematic anyway. But do we have to recognize just English names, Thai names, Vietnamese names, Chinese names? Well, you can see the more users we target, the more difficult that task becomes. A final problem is speed versus accuracy. For something to work fast on the internet, it needs to be not too large, not take too much processing power. But of course, for something to be accurate, it's more likely to have a larger size and take more processing power. So there's a balance there that needs to be established. So in conclusion, we've created a question generator that turns a statement into a question or a whole series of questions. It's pedagogic in that it's been designed for students to use to provide controlled practice. There are three ways that could be used for this. One is a deductive approach in which students test out whether the grammatical rule that they know works. Two, they could see lots of output of questions and work out how to form the question by guessing kind of the grammatical structure. And a popular one is beat the system, where the student aims to write a statement that can't be changed into a question by our system. In terms of future work, we want it to be more accurate, and to focus on the accuracy, we need to know exactly how accurate we are now. So we need to evaluate the accuracy and then focus on increasing the accuracy, perhaps by using BERT. Thank you. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to ask now if you have time, or contact us later by email or in person.
I have a question, John.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, hello, John.
Hi, Duck's the guy who's probably going to answer your question, but I can answer too.
Okay, well, it's just that when you mentioned that point about knowing the system being able to determine the gender or the sex of the subject, that's one aspect of the larger problem, which is that the system doesn't have any theory of mind, so it doesn't really know. It doesn't really know whether the subject is alive or not, and whether it's an animal. What is the stage of consciousness of all those things?
Yeah, there's no database for world knowledge. There's no database
Yeah.
for discipline-specific knowledge. So without that, we can do nothing. All we can do is to work on the words inside the text itself. So this is sort of a endotextual answer.
It's bounded. Yeah. No, and that's reasonable, and that's a good reason to only shoot for 90% or whatever. Yeah. That's all I had to say.
May I say, ask a question?
Sure.
So my question is, where do you take your input? So are the statements provided by the user itself, the learner itself, by the professor? So where do you take your input?
Duck, do you want to answer or shall I answer?
Yeah, so I'll answer the question. So the input for the system, it's just, for now, it's just a sentence from the user. For example, maybe it's from the teacher who want to demonstrate, who want to give some example in the class. Or maybe it can come from the student itself, but it's some kind of input from the users.
Did you consider the possibility to take the examples of such inputs from some external resources? So I don't know, so from Twitter, from Wikipedia, from somewhere where you can find some interesting facts to play during the teaching and learning session, just to extend probably the boundaries of possible question generators.
Just so maybe I should because we already have a prototype version for the application, so maybe we can show you the actual result of the question generator from some certain input. Maybe we can get something from the Wikipedia. Can you give me a second so I can find the link to the application?
Also, just if you would like to demonstrate, it would be fantastic just to see.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, any other question? All right.
Oh, sorry, I'm still in the middle of answering, Professor.
Yes, Deborah.
Oh, really? Oh, sorry about
yes.
Let's do to demonstrate something. Yes, just because he's preparing.
Deborah's not listening.
Some outstanding demonstration. Yes, so just we are waiting for.
Yes. So yes. So here on the screen, it our current version of the question generator. So yeah. So as you can see here, we have the option for the user to choose the type of the generated question. So right now, to get an example, I can get something from the Wikipedia's, from this one. So take this sentence, for example, maybe this one.
Yes.
Yes. So firstly, as you can see, like this sentence, they contain a lot of firstly, they have some name entity, they have some real world object that normally the system wouldn't be able to understand what kind of object this is. So it's one of the problem for the system. For example, if you want to decide the interrogative pronoun for this term, then it's gonna be a problem for the system to decide whether it's refer to a person or it refer to a concept in real life. So that's one of the problems that we run into, and we needed to figure out a way to solve it. So another problem that can be seen in this sentence is that the syntactic structure of the sentence is kind of complicated. So they contain a dependent clause, this such as clause. So it also can pose some difficulty to the system. But for now, let's try and see what kind of question our system will produce from this sentence. So it's gonna take further. Oh, okay, so it's already done. So this is the question generated from that sentence. So we have the closed open question and the tab question.
Yes, that's interesting. Of course, the sentence you selected is not an easy example at all. And yes, probably I would recommend to go to kind of more interactive scenarios when the teacher may select not only the type of the questions, but probably some keywords that should be used, and probably annotate them in the process of such interaction. Just there could be different interfaces as well. Just teacher interface, just in process of preparing probably some text to be used during let's say exercise time, and user interface or the learner interface, which rather plays with something. And another idea probably could be around selecting a possible area of knowledge which is particularly interesting for the learner. If someone is interested in sports, probably he would like much more some examples around sport competitions rather than around classical music. Quite an opposite. So just it's much more probably encouraging to answer the questions around or to see the questions around the area you like the most. So just not some kind of around the areas that you hate.
Yes, yes. Thank you for the suggestion. Just we can apply some of your idea maybe in our network because we are also working on some possible improvement for the system. So right now we are still under.
Oh yes, yes, I can understand that.
Yes, so yes, but we can apply some of your idea in our network. So thank you
very much. Thank you very much for your presentation. And
yes,
you're very brave to demonstrate something working just on the fly. So just
and it worked.
Should be appreciated. Yes, not pre-recorded. So just thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
I thought it was a very interesting presentation. I found it quite interesting. It's good.
Good job, Duke.
thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much. That was a very exciting session we had. So we'll end the session now. I think we have a 45 minutes break and then we'll start with the evening session at 5:45. And then probably it will go on until 9 or so, approximately our time in Japan. So see you in 45 minutes or 40 minutes around that time. Okay. So bye-bye for now.